Okay, I guess there's no use to wait any longer. So, hello everyone. Welcome to another stream. Just I will check out if my volume is okay. I guess it looks fine. I tried to do something about the video quality of my desk cam, but there is really nothing more I can do than just, hey Joanna, thank you for the host. There is nothing much I can do apart from changing the resolution of the of camera, and yeah, not much. So what I planned to do today? Of course, we are going back to this monstrosity of a paper. Okay, thanks for hosting. Have a nice day. I don't know how much of the day you have left, but yeah, just have a nice day. So yeah, I will be dealing with this monstrosity of a paper and check if I can use it to something, because I can't use it for watercolors, probably with ink wash too. I haven't checked my tempera paints, and I don't own gouache, so I can't check this. But this will be a nice disposal paper for today's you and your grandma's. Oh, it's only 2 p.m. Oh, so much stuff, so much time to do some stuff. Well, it's like 10 past 8 p.m. here, so I have just 4 hours left of Saturday. And in Poland it's Father's Day today, so yeah, it's always a thing about Mother's and Father's Day, because in Poland it's pretty late compared to other countries. So every time in US I see my YouTubers like doing some special videos with their parents, I am just like, hey, thanks for reminding that 2 weeks late that I have to prepare some present for 2 weeks later, where the Polish Mother's and Father's Day will be. So yeah, have fun at your grandma's, Joanna. So yeah, this will be a good disposal paper for some art busting. And by the way, if you're wondering what happened to my finger, it's because I'm doing some new swatches. This is my old swatch list, and it's horrible and it's all wrinkly because I used pretty bad paper and it all got wrinkled because of glue, and I can't do anything about it, so I decided to do new because aesthetic, you know. And I was opening some watercolor tubes because I wanted to swatch those, and they were so tightly closed that the perforation of a tube pulled some of the top layers of my skin, and I have to wear this band-aid. But it's very unfortunate because I put on this spot where I got hurt, I put my fork, my spoon, my brush and my pencil and everything I do, so every time I grab something I get reminded that this is this place, no. So yeah, back to the topic. I thought that this would be a good opportunity to do some art myth busting, like I did earlier with this paper, to check if it's really that shitty. Spoiler alert, it is. So I will use it again, but with some dry medium. And lately I've seen many like things. Also, sorry for my camera like auto-focusing like so much. I don't know, whatever like focusing setting I would choose, it's always the same thing. So yeah, and I thought that since there were so many like suggestions on how to use soft pastels were popping up, I thought that I should check them out. So yeah, this will get super messy and I'm totally ready for this. This is my kitchen table, so it is made for being cleaned off easily. So yeah, I'm not super scared about the mess here. I will grab one sheet of sheet. And yeah, I think we should firstly I should introduce you to soft pastels I have. This one is Kohinoor Tosandor. I don't know French, so I don't know if I'm reading them right. And this is just not only these are soft pastels, but also they are in this styrofoam container, so it's double cringe for me because styrofoam is horrible. So yeah, these are 6 colors I have in this set, like, you know, black, brown. I think I got them. No, I don't have the proper swatch here, because I probably just put every chalk pastel I own in one place, but I see that I divided. So yeah, oh yeah, so these are the swatches for chalk pastels. By the way, these are called suche pastele in Polish, which literally means dry pastels. but they are the same as chalk / soft pastels. So yeah, I have yellow, red, blue, green, brown and black in this set. So yeah, no white, like why? So I will just put them aside. By the way, this palette will be handy, and also I have this plastic container from like cafeteria and this X-Acto knife. So yeah, we will be doing some dangerous stuff on stream. Kids, just don't watch. So yeah, and this one is like better one because first off it's 12 colors. Second off, the packaging is so pretty. Like, it's so nice. And this is a Polish brand, by the way. It's Astra, the Polish brand. Yeah, and you just slit this from this side and then opened it, and there is of course the foam, and they are stuck in foam also, so this is much better packaging. But yeah, this is my newer set. I had to buy newer set for my art class because this set didn't have that much color variety, and we were supposed to bring complementary colors to the colored Bristol we had to buy. So I bought orange Bristol. Like, probably you would, I will just see if I can bring one of my art here on stream to show what I meant. Yeah, it's in other folder and probably 2016. No, it's from 2017. I'm sorry. Buffer. Is it here? Oh yeah, it's here. So I will just quickly just add another source. And I'm sorry, I just spoke because Streamlabs updated, and with the last update I got like just like half of the options in Polish, so I just told it out loud. Okay, so it's here. Oh, okay. Whoops! Too much. Too tall. I will just quickly. Oh no! No! Lock this. I want this. Okay. So the exercise was to like take a Bristol paper that is some other color than black and white, some like mid-tone but in color, and to choose the and to make the color of the Bristol like mid-tone, to act as a mid-tone, and to have white as your highlight and other complementary color as a shadow. So since I got orange Bristol, I had to choose. I had to prepare white pastel, which I didn't have in this set right here, so I had to buy a new set. Also I will just give it even smaller so I can see. And also this shade of blue wasn't the right shade because it was like too, as you can see, it was like too bright. So I used this shade, which is in this set, this one right here, or probably I used even this shade, but according to my swatch, this and this are pretty similar. Oh yeah, I remembered why I used this, because I didn't brought this set to art class, because I thought, like, since this already one have white and the colors are so similar that I will just bring this one. So yeah, I used white and this shade of blue, and this shade of blue, and yeah, this is nicer assortment of colors, but working with chalk pastels is hideous for me. Like, you should, when I was doing this, I was raging so much. I was so frustrated, and this is the last the art I'm showing is the last time I used chalk pastels, and this was like when I went to that art class. It was probably either a year ago or half a year ago. So, you know what? I will just check when I scanned this in my properties. Yeah, it was just a little bit over 1 year ago, because I see that it's 28th of April, so I could scan it like later, but it's around that time. So yeah, this one is 1 year old, yeah. But I haven't touched like soft pastels since. Oh no, I did some like gradient with them, like really light gradient to blend the background better on my End of Innocence piece. That maybe that I will, I will show it. Why not? Why not? Just I will. Oh no, it's probably in the same folder. Or maybe not. It would be in other. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this one. Oh yeah, in this piece. And you see I think I used like 4 shades of colored pencils for the background, and blend it out, and then added some of chalk pastels on top of that to make the blending more smooth, but it was so hideous. Dobra, okay. So yeah, these were the only times I used chalk pastels, and it was bad because chalk pastels are like super powdery and they leave powder everywhere. I know I'm just super bitching about them, but I hate this medium. I hate this plus charcoal in sticks. Like, I hate charcoal. It was so messy, and this was also so messy. I had what, like, once I went blue, I had my whole hand blue, and I couldn't make too many breaks because I won't finish the piece in time during the class. So I had to, like, it is bad. So yeah, these are our test subjects. So yeah, first thing I should do is to test them like on raw paper. I actually have some have some notes here what to do. So yeah, this will be our control piece. That pastels on stick layered on raw paper. So yeah, this is a raw paper. It's not prepared, as you saw that I ripped it right from the pad. So yeah, let's do something. I think that maybe some clouds on the setting sun, on the sunset. It would be nice, but also something not that hard. But I don't. Oh yeah, I have some paper towel, so my hands won't get super dirty, and I would have. Oh my god! I just bumped my hand onto the cable because I need my phone to be charged while doing live streams, because 2 hours of because my phone has to run an application and be connected to my Wi-Fi to send the video. So and on the last stream I didn't plug the charger, and from 100% it went down to 30 after like 2 hours, maybe 2.5, and this is just too much for my phone to bear. So yeah, this time we are playing safe and have a charger. So yeah, let's do this. I think I will start with some black. Also, most of these are cracked because I don't handle my art supplies well when they are in bag, and which is strange because they were in phone like all the time. But yeah, let's just do this. Let's do some like mountains. Okay, this texture of the paper is not super smooth, like you have to scratch it really hard to feel all the little indents that came from the texture of the paper. So yeah, I will just lower the audio and maybe just so you can hear the screeching. I hate this sound. I hate this sound so much. And already it gets so much powder. But yeah, the good news is the paper is holding up. Surprise, surprise, it's a dry medium. And here the excess powder, I will just grab it, don't blow it, and just put on the container so I can use it in a next step. And I already stained my finger. Oh my god, will be just super messy. Oh no. Oh. Okay, this is not a good start. Okay, I hope that nobody would just look at the back. So yes, some maybe more mountains. Some. Okay, let's say that these are ready, and then go with dark blue. I think this is a little bit Yeah, it's dark blue. Like, it's not indigo, but it's... Let's just wing this. Because I want the... I will leave some... You know what? I should maybe just blend them. Like, this is not a great, like, shade of blue, but I guess it's okay. And just one cloud here. And since I want them to be lit from the... I will just push them aside to make more place for the... Also, sorry if you hear any noise in the background, because my dad is watching football again. And one cloud like that. Like, I went with clouds because you can't do wrong while doing clouds. Also, I noticed that these aren't like in soft pastels you need to layer so much when you want to achieve some darker. You need to layer this super much, then blend it out, layer it again to achieve the color you get from the stick. And this is like infuriating for me, because in any other medium you don't have things like this, like, oh, you want that rich color? Yeah, just put them on a paper, blend it, put it, blend it, put it, blend it, put it, blend it, and repeat until eternity, because of the texture of the paper you will never get a smooth finish. Like, okay, then let me just not use this. And I also do this stream and this art myth busting with this medium because I want to finally like find some things I would like about this medium and make me want to use it again. So yeah, it looks acceptable, I think. So yeah, I will just do some sky, some gradient that is coming, that is like blue, like sky blue at the top, and that just gradually go through purple to reds at the bottom. So yeah, I will just leave this one aside and go maybe, okay, just I need to remember to grab it with, not with this finger. So I think I will go and do the backlit just right now. God, I remember about this backlit. I remember that one episode of Franklin, you know, that that kids cartoon for the with the turtle. Oh my God, I just smashed it on the corner. And I like my sharp corners and edges. Hi, hello. Yeah, boy say cream. Yeah, boy say cream. Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you like watching people be miserable and raging for some minuscule things, and I will, because this is what will happen today. So yeah, I will just blend this a little bit. By the way, how are you? How was your day? What is what is time? What is your time in the place where you are? Because I'm curious at what time you people watch streams usually, because I'm still not decided on the days nor the time I start my streams. So yeah. So I will just again grab some, I don't know why I put this down, I will just grab some. The point with pastels, the soft pastels, is that if you don't want them, the colors to blend, like here they formed like really bad like pukey shade of green here, because I didn't left the 1 millimeter break between the colors, which I'm doing right here, which is hard with a stamp like this. And also there is a powder everywhere. Oh my god, oh my god, I will just put them just there. So yeah, I will just put this aside and just bring maybe some red. And here I want mixing, so I will just, oh no, you know what, I should make the center white and start from yellow, and I can't just reverse that. Also this noise. Okay, so I will just go through this part really lightly because I want to blend some, and I will grab blue, like lighter shade of blue, and mix it. And okay, I see that this is not that, because this purple is like violet purple and not like reddish purple, and I wanted to mix that, but I see that the colors don't want to operate, so I will just quickly put this with the intense, with the letters up, because as you may see there are some letters like imprinted here, and I want them up because I like to have, crappy or not, I want to have like some order in my art supplies. So yeah, not super confident about the, I will just go through this red again. Not super happy with the colors of the cloud, and I think I will just take some black and just put it on the top. Like, yeah boy, if you are listening to me, don't get discouraged. This is not how I usually draw. It's just when I draw with soft pastels because they are horrible. And I can't. So yeah, I think I should like blend out that with which finger. They're all already dirty now. I think that the middle one is like the only go-to option now, because with these two I grabbed my pastels, the sticks. Just lightly. Oh no, I blend this. This one was to blend. This one is already pretty black, so I will use this to blend. I'm not happy with the clouds. They were supposed to be easy, but the colors ruined everything. And I think I spent too much time on that one control piece. I clean this a little bit, so yeah. So yeah, I see that the colors of the sky are blending pretty well, and this is some really nice effect. But yeah, just the way they have to be layered and blended is just something that throws me off, and the fact that I don't do that much mess when I paint with watercolors or with my tempera paints, and here I just already made my table super like. I just need to clean my fingers a little bit. Nothing happened. Need to probably go and wash them and do some and put some. Be right back. So yeah, I will just put some white, because if this clouds needs anything, it would be some, I don't know, more rim lighting. I don't know, I'm just like, now I'm just, the point is they layer on top of each other rather nicely, which is okay, and the colors like can mix pretty well. So this is something that is like pretty good to know, although my white is stained. Okay, I clean this up real quick. Letters up. Yeah. And just which finger, maybe something on the left hand, but my left hand is pretty useless. But because of this band-aid I had to like open my open bottles with like left hand, and this is something I can't do with my left hand. Even now I think that my rubbing is something, my rubbing like technique is something like, oh my god, these clouds are looking awful. I I hate this piece already. The sky is nice. And I will just blend this, also this part out. And because there is so much powder, they are filling the gaps. Like, this is satisfying to see all the gaps that are formed because of the texture of the paper, like nicely filling up, but you have so much excess powder and you have to like tap 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 aside. So yeah, let's say that this is our control picture. I think that next pictures will be like minus the clouds, just the nice gradient of the sky. So, oh my god, I stained both my hands and I need to just do quick be right back so I can wash my hands, and I just need to dismantle my oh no, I need to mute my oh no, this suddenly becomes the left hand challenge, because now because my right hand is super dirty, like you can see, I have to mute my mic, put the be right back note I have here, and mute my mic, and also take this clip all with left hand, and this is bad. Oh my god, this is bad. Okay, I don't want to stain you, so you go there, and I will just, oh my god. If anyone left-handed is like, oh no, I already stained the corner of my table. Oh no. So if anyone who is like left-handed, who is forced to do things right-handed, yeah, I relate to you right now. Oh my god, no, don't. Okay, so I will wash my hands and I will be right back. So yeah, I'm back and I just grabbed another note to write some pros and cons that I will just find. Cons, dry, and the noise of laying this on paper. Pros, wash easily, wash out, wash off, I'm sorry. English is not my first language for you who are new here, so I have some struggles with some grammar. And the ambulance just rode in front of my windows. Nice. Yes, easily. Wash off easily. Nice gradients. They lay colors are layering well. they are not super opaque, but like I would say that 75% opaque. But when they so another minus is to avoid unwanted color mixing. Leave space. And also something to remember, don't blow off the powder. Oh, and also dirty. This should be like on top. So okay, I will take this and leave this somewhere where I can. Okay, I will leave this there and grab another pad and grab another and next on my list is pastels on stick but layered on paper sprayed with fixative. I have a fixative here. It's a Kohinoor fixative, and as you can see on the package, it is suitable also for chalk pastels because I have the exact same pastel like on package. So yeah. So yeah, I have my window open, by the way, so I won't like get any fumes and it would be like ventilated nicely. Okay. So I will wait for it to dry, and while it will be drying, I will prepare some. I will prepare another paper pad. Because I know that if you sprayed the first layer, like let's say that this is our first basic layer of pastels, and that if you spray this, you can then layer this, and the opaqueness, like transparency of the medium, should be minimal, because it will stick to the fixative and not to the pastels underneath. So there will be no unwanted blending of colors, and the opaqueness of medium will be like much higher, and also the colors will be much more saturated. So let's leave this and let it not. Okay, I see that in the meantime it's just dried. So yeah, let's use again black. It did. Well, I see that there are patches because apparently the fixative didn't spray it evenly, and there are some darker patches where there was more fixative than usual, but I think that it will be like it could be a problem if you want to leave the paper white, but I don't think it should be a problem when we are covering the whole paper. So yeah, let's do this again, some mountains. Okay, and I can see that that the way we lay, oh my god, this, not this again. So the way it behaves on the fixative is no different than when it lays on the normal paper, which is, well, on the one side it's okay because it shows that the fixative keeps the texture of the paper and the layer was not that thick to just smooth the paper out completely. Why am I taking black again? I don't know. So let's start with, okay, I see that okay, that's why I hate soft pastels. I already just have one speck on my thumb, and now everything is just ruined. Oh no, I just touched the black. You see, I have to okay, so there will be some bad color because there was some excess powder that stayed here, because I can't blow this because there will be some uncontrollable pastel fallout of powder. Okay, so let's go through to orange. By the way, I think that the music is too quiet, so oh my god, let me just navigate my mouse and click with my middle finger. Okay, it should be a little bit more louder for your convenience and for your pleasure of watching. Also, I see that in my mixer it's catching a little bit of the noise. Okay, if I had to make a full detailed piece like I usually do with this, I would just go crazy. And the point is, I won't, even if I'm super matte and pastels, I won't throw them into the garbage bin, because I hate, if anything I hate more is being wasteful. So I need to find some way where I can just like them. Okay, I can already tell that this is much nicer picture because the clouds are gone. And grab some purple, I mean violet. Okay, I hear already that I went through my whole playlist and it's starting with the intro again. Okay, what I can already tell, this is a nice effect and this is a nice gradient, and it will just get nicer when I blend it. So let's just use the pin key for black. And this is something I can save. Like, this is not a picture I will be too embarrassed to show, but on the other side it's too easy. But when I tell that, hey, it's like my third time using chalk pastels, they would be like, oh yeah, it's a good for the third, it looks good for a third attempt. And there is probably an ambulance again. Okay, I will grab some more red to even the gradient out. But also what I see, that when you blend it already and the powder will fill all those little texture indents in the paper, it stops the other layers to lay out, so they are much less intense. And I see that there is powder fallout, as you can see. I can move them with my finger. That wasn't there before because most of the powder already filled the was used to fill the indents, and because there are already the indents filled, they are just, I'm just moving them around. I will just tap this. Okay, so this is the final effect. It looks nice. It doesn't look that super bad, but I am running out of space where to put them. But the point is, fixative on the paper doesn't change the way it sticks to the paper. So yeah, I will just put them on the counter and just quickly write this into my notes. So yeah, priming paper with fixative. Doesn't change a thing. Yeah. So next one is something I've seen in many YouTube videos, because I have a very broad field of interest, and I watch many YouTubers that do artsy stuff, and not only drawing, painting, but also some sculpting, some polymer clay, some wood carving, and also some doll customization. Like, you know, there are people who take old Barbie dolls or old Monster High dolls and take off their factory paint and completely redo their faces, and they look amazing. So what they do, usually, they spray the paper with they spray the because doll's face is made of really smooth material like plastic or vinyl, which is, well, a different polymer, has a different polymer structure than plastic, but plastic is also a polymer structure. So yeah, they're both like artificial polymer material, which is very smooth, and they spray it with fixative. So I will just do it now. spray it with fixative first, with some sort of sealant, which so as they say, the material will stick better to the face. Which, well, the way we layered it, that didn't change as we saw them. But yeah, let's just wait for it to dry, and then they use brushes to kind of brush off the powder. So I have some excess powder, but I also saw them like brushing off the powder directly from the stick, which I see on the brush did nothing. So I will use the paper, the powder, the black powder. God damn! I can't do anything with this. I hate this, like really. I should just update these notes and write dirty with bold it out and put some exclamation points after that. So yeah, so I'll just grab this fallout powder and see how this would work out in layering. So because we are using brush, this is okay, so I can see that the intensity of colors is like super minimal, and you don't, okay, there is very, I'm not using a super fancy brush because, well, these are soft pastels, I hate them, and I don't know if they won't just like ruin my good brushes. So I'm using this one, older one. So I see that, so you can see that that the way it layers depends greatly on the brush you use, of the brush you use, and of the texture of the paper. It's pretty, this method is pretty unevenly, and I see why they use it, why the people who do doll customization use this for blushing, because the intensity of color is not that there is no, the colors on the paper are not as intense as like layered on a stick. I will just grab some, put a palette, grab that. I will grab this pastel because this is like worse. This one are fancy, I don't want to use them, although they are also super crappy because they are soft pastels. And I will just scrape some of the powder. And I saw the vlog by Bailey J. She's a YouTuber. And she did a vlog where she was scraping her soft pastels to those little bead containers, and I didn't know why, and I still don't know why, because soft pastels are so bad. Okay, so I will just see how this will layer. Okay, this is the same thing. I think this is this gives like more cooler shade of gray. But yeah, I don't see doing like the whole mountains with this, because this is tedious and won't give us the effect I want. So the next thing I have on my list is to check how the powder will stick onto the paper and onto the brush when the brush will be damp. So let's do 1/2 of this peak with dry brush and other half with damp brush. So yeah, so some more pastel scraping. I should probably use this smaller piece, because I can't, okay, because I will have trouble grabbing this properly with my hand when I decide magically to do some soft pastels, just in case. So I scraped off this smaller part because it's smaller and it won't be as wasteful, because it would be just bad if I would scrape like bigger chunk of this pastel and then have just 2 little chunks that I can't draw with. Even though I hate soft pastels. Okay, I will just clean this knife. And I think that's enough purple. Let's grab some red. Very interesting, I know. The point is, I don't know what to talk about. I already told about my adventures with soft pastels, and I see that nobody else is watching right now. So yeah, I don't know how to fill the void on my stream. What else to talk about? So I just stay silent. Okay, so the red one is scraped. So now by the way, this palette is like is like the regular plastic cheap palette, but even if it's cheap and even if it's made of plastic, it's like much better than those wooden palettes, because the cleaning is much better, because when a paint dries on the wood, it just the molecules of paint went deep into the structure of the wood, and therefore they stain the wood, and it's, even after some rough cleaning, it's really hard to clean it completely. And on this palette, I bought it like, well, almost a year ago, to be honest, and I see some minor staining when I left my watercolors for too long, but the good part is the acrylics and tempera paints just scrape off easily. I just take a wooden dowel or some skewer or toothpick even, and just scrape the paint off, and it just cleans really well. And I bought this in the shop named Tiger, and I know this shop because the YouTubers I watch named Doodle Date have lots of things from their shop, and it wasn't one in Poland. So when the first Tiger just opened up, and it happens to open up really close to me, I just had to go and see, hey, I've seen this, and I bought the whole set of their alcohol markers. I haven't used them because I'm a marker noob, but I wanted to have them just in case. I know, I'm a hoarder. And I also bought this palette because I didn't have a proper palette. I was just mixing colors like on container lids or some other, or on some foil, but it's nicer to have a palette like this. So okay, I just finished scraping them off, so I will grab my brush, just clean this a little bit, and just start applying dry powder to one part of the picture. Okay, I already saw that there was some excess black powder everywhere, but the blending between the colors is much more smooth, well, which is understandable because I grabbed the powder, and you can't get more precise when laying a medium than just taking little powder chunks. And you see that because we are using the powder directly, it's already like blended. I mean, it's already like filling the gaps in the texture, so it's really smooth. But yeah, this is tedious task, just putting all of this with brush, and I can see that on the smaller scale this can work, but yeah, not on the bigger one. Also, I'm making such a mess here. Like, oh, I hate mess. And I try not to. I could tape this paper, I really could, but this is such a crappy paper that I fear that I will just scrape this. So yeah, this is the result of dry brushing. So yeah, I will just blend this out a little bit more. Oh, a bristle fall out. I told you this is a crappy brush. and I will just do some quick vertical blending. Well, you can see I need to grab some more pigment and just blend the gradient even more, so it won't be that apparent. Well, after I laid another layer of orange powder on the border between red and orange, it just formed like this really intense orange. So I just go through again through red. So yeah, this is kind of working, but maybe better with not when mixing the colors, or maybe this is just because of my brush, I don't know. But on the smaller scale, like you are doing some blushing, like this will be okay to do some blushing, but not much not much otherwise. So yeah, now I will just dip my brush in the water, and with wet brush I will grab some black and lay this. Okay, the point is I've seen that on the videos that you can in theory like make watercolors out of soft pastels. I will just damp it a little bit. So let's grab yellow. So yeah, you get more precise. I'll just blend this out. You get more precise way to layer the colors. Because it works like a very chalky watercolors. They are not smooth like the ones from tubes, more like from those pens you used like in elementary school. They're really chalky. Some more powder. Okay, and because I am more experienced in watercolors, I see that I can use soft pastels like that. But because this is a crappy paper for watercolors, as I showed on my last stream, this will not end super well. Okay, I need to just grab a little bit more, and you can see the difference in intensity between, okay, this one was intense, I probably just had too much water on a brush. So the color intensity is not, the colors on the paper are not as intense, but it's because of the amount of water you put on your brush. Like, it has to be just damp, not soaked in water. Like, just water the end of the brush, grab some pigment, and I saw that you can also, what you can use with soft pastels. When I researched how to do DIY watercolors, I saw that people buy some pigments, and where soft pastels are just basically pigment, and mix them with gum arabic to achieve the really smooth watercolors. Like DIY. Okay, I'll just... Okay, I see also that this paper lifts up pigment. So you see the white here. Let camera focus. Hey. Camera focus. Ah, thank you. I know I just talked to my camera. I'm lonely. So yeah, the paper is bending because it's crappy for watercolors. But we are testing the pastels here. Okay, they lift the pigment so much, it looks like a... this paper is bad for watercolors. The pigment lifting is real. This shouldn't be happening. Okay, so let's say that this comparison is done. So yeah, this depending on, so the only thing I could use soft pastels for is like some blushing, and to use them as kinda as watercolor replacement. So I will just set this aside, clean my brush, and take another pad, another piece of paper, and do the last test, which is putting, not with damp brush, but putting water directly here on the palette, to see, but we already have seen that it turned into watercolors, kinda, but we'll see how it works with that much amount of water. Okay, let's say that this is enough. So I will just put them, rearrange my place so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm mixing the powder with water, and I see that it's not mixing. Like you can see, I wonder if I can just, focus, thank you. Like you can see the specks of pigment, of powder around, like this is not mixing with water. And I don't have baby oil here, and nor I have gum arabic, because this is some sort of chemical stuff I don't have in my home. So yeah, I see that there is some powder accumulating at the bottom and on the sides, because it doesn't want to mix with water. But let's see, let's grab some of this and see what this... Okay, you can see some pigment. Okay, you can see, you see that? This looks like some magnetic stuff. I'm pulling the brush and the water with the brush, and all the powder is like, I don't know how to describe it in English. It's like backing off. It's like in magnets, they don't want to pull together, but pull like they don't want to, like you, how to describe that? Like in magnets you have polarity, and there is a north pole and south pole of the magnetic pole, and when you put the opposite poles, they attract to each other and the magnet sticks, and also the magnet alongside other magnetic materials that can acquire magnetic properties, like iron. Because of the magnetic poles, the molecules of irons just got put in the order according to the pole of the magnet, and the same poles of magnet, like south with south, north with north, will like retract, not attract, maybe retract is the great word. So I see the same thing like happening, the pretty same thing like happening here, like when I pull the brush with water, the specks, the powder is retracting from that water, but at the same time some of the pigment is staying in the paper. This is strange, and I can layer this like and I can layer this like watercolors, but I don't know to what extent. Like, will I get the same intensity of color like when I put them directly from a stick? Like, I see that after 3 layers of this mixture, the color on the edges of the brush is like pretty, like, see here, it's pretty intense black. I wonder if I can like put this powder here and mix some more. Of course I did even more mess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and mix it. Okay, I see that this mixture is much darker because I changed the water to powder ratio, and I see that the texture, well, I see first off that the paper is falling apart because it's crappy, as I stated before. Okay, this is some really intense black. So it seems that it's just the so the intensity depends on the powder to water ratio. So you can control this, like shave some more powder and say that 1/4 of the teaspoon of powder and 1/4 of the teaspoon of water will like do this shade, or 1/4 of the teaspoon of powder and 1 spoon of water will give this shade. But okay, this gets pretty dark in some spots. Well, it is pretty uneven because, well, the paper doesn't allow that, plus the pigment doesn't want to mix with water well, so it's because of that I'm pulling just it's retracting from water. So yeah, I will just clean the brush real quick. Okay, and mix and see how the yellow will mix. Okay, I see that there are still some specks of the yellow isn't as vibrant because there are some specks of black here, which is bad, but I can't do anything about this right now than to just, like, you can see this is not mixing. The powder is like staying at the top of the water, it's not sinking right now. It's like you put an oil on the water, or olive oil, or some other, or oil in general, and it won't mix with water like whatsoever, and instead it would just form those eyes. Okay, so now when I mix them, that some just accumulated on the bottom. So let's see how this will look like. Like I can see using them like that, but at the same time I have my regular watercolors and my watercolor tubes, which I am really excited to paint with them after I like use my current ones to the brim. Like I don't want to start to open and start new medium before I use the old one. I mean, not the new medium, because I use a couple of mediums at the same time. Media, I'm sorry. It's from Latin. So the plural is different depending on the last syllable. Yeah, English with Nina. Okay, I know this paper is crappy. I know, I'm perfectly aware of this, that this is bending and this shouldn't, and it shouldn't be bending because it's 200 GSM mixed media specifically. So yeah, I will just put some. And the good thing is that the yellow layer is also a little bit wet, because the colors will just blend better into the gradient. Okay, I see that the color is pulling out of this paper, so I'll just leave it like this. And this is, you know, just some crappy art myth busting, you know. And now some red. I can see that the colors now in the watercolor form, because of the water and because the pigments doesn't want to be in water, they doesn't blend as well, because they tend to be accumulated on the edges of the strokes. And now some of this violet. I know this looks crappy, but believe me, this paper is horrible. And the worst part is I have watercolor paper of the from the same brand, and it's apparently as bad as this one, because this is the thickest paper I have, and I'm super disappointed in it. I did the whole live stream just roasting this paper and just showing you how bad it is. Okay, so I see that the red and violet pigment just merged into this like very desaturated maroon, as I will call this color. And yeah, well, I can use them as watercolors to some extent because the way they doesn't like to mix with water, just like put them, doesn't make them that great watercolors either, because you can see each of the stroke, which doesn't happen when I'm using watercolors. And of course the paper is falling apart, but it's just the crappy paper, which I paid $10 for it, and I'm salty about this. So yeah, this is so, oh, okay, I see that some of the pigment just flew here with water when where I just put my finger. So yeah, okay, so I checked most of the myths and okay, to summarize, soft pastels are horrible medium for me. If you like this, then it's great. Show me, tell me your secrets, how you use it, how you don't get that much dirt and powder everywhere, how you can control this well. So yeah, to summarize, they give some nice blending effects when put on dry, but you can kind of see the strokes especially on the more textured paper, and that when you prime it with fixative, you don't get rid of the texture. So you either have to have some really smooth paper so you don't see the texture, but at the same time you will get powder everywhere, because when you lay it and blend it, you will get some less powder, because most of it will just go into the indents that were left by the indents of the texture of the paper, which won't be happening with smooth paper. Also the crappiness of this pick just came from the fact that I don't use soft pastels like at all, and I don't keep colors from unwanted blending. So yeah, the dry brush versus, let me grab this real quick, the dry brush versus damp brush. It's like the dry brush is like okay, but for like very little elements. I know that powdery pastels, especially in brush, is like super hard to control, but for some blushing or some really faint gradients, because you know the color intensity is like much much smaller, the colors are much fainter, less saturated, and to apply this technique on the whole picture will just use too much of your energy to grab, shave all the pastels, grab them with brush and just put them, because you don't grab as much powder to layer this dry on the very big area. Damp brush helps a little bit, but and also mixing powder with water, but the biggest flaw I see is that they don't mix with water well. The powder will accumulate in places where there will be less water, so on the edges and on the ends of each stroke, so you can see the stroke still, and you see some of the places where the pigment just accumulated, so it's not as even as using regular watercolors. So yeah, if I will ever use soft pastels again, I would just use them dry brushing. Yeah, I will use them as dry brushing, or to achieve this effect when you can see strokes but there is still faint gradient. But this doesn't take out the biggest flaw of soft pastels, which is just such a horrible mess you make with them, and it requires you to like relearn all you have known about art supplies, because you need to like don't blow the excess powder, don't like put, don't like don't like put them on the don't, you need to acquire a proper technique to tap this excess powder off, and also to leave the border between the colors you don't want to mix. Like you see between the mountains and the sky, I put some border, but not between the clouds and the sky, and the colors become just muddy. So yeah, this medium needs so much relearning, which I didn't undergo when I hopped from like watercolors to oil pastels, or from colored pencils to oil pastels, because oil pastels are, in my opinion, much superior than the soft ones. So yeah, this summarizes my struggles with soft pastels. I won't probably come to them again unless I will do some challenge like drawing with the supplies I have, and try my best to do as detailed picture as I can, but this would just make me so angry. Like I already know like I already know the result of this challenge. I would just get so mad and it would be such a mess. So yeah, about that super clickbait in the title about the new challenge, I myself came up with a new art challenge. It requires you some like I just need to put this aside. It requires you some work beforehand with some logistics, but I think it will be like good for you both to keep your workspace and supplies tidy and in order, and both as to know the supplies you never probably used. So yeah, as you may already seen, when I swatch, I usually write down the color codes or the color names if there is one, you know, like here on my watercolor tubes. And since they are like some just codes of numbers, I thought that why don't we use the codes of numbers? Well, when you're describing the color you use, you usually just go, okay, this is like the gold, and this is like purple, this is like violet, this is like sap green, this is white, you know, this is teal, and you don't use the numbers. Like usually you can say that, oh yeah, this is the 16, which is like teal or just teal, but don't use 16 altogether. So I noticed that some of the art supplies which have numbers, the numbers sometimes doesn't correlate between some of the supplies. So like here with tiger markers we have 01, which is green, but most of the colored pencils have 1 as white and some as red even, and some as yellow. So I thought that the rules of the challenge is, first you need to, well, you don't have to, but it would be easier for you to do the swatches of your art supplies that have color codes in numbers. Even the Copic markers, like you see, my Copic Ciao, my 05 or Copic Ciao markers, or all 12 of my Pro markers have numbers, even though they are not like 2-digit numbers, but they have numbers alongside letters. And what you do, you take random number generator, you do swatches with the color codes. It will help to find the right supplies. Then you roll a dice, like I have this fancy D10 dice, like this one shows you the digit of the tens, and this one shows you the digits of the ones, you know, like for example, I threw 56, or I randomized 56, so I see where is 56 on my chart in my supplies. Like, oh yeah, this is this nice blue here, and also this is, well, not here, also not here, and also this nice pink fine liner. And using this pink fine liner and this blue watercolor pencil, you creating an artwork from supplies that have the exact same number codes. Like you get as many possibilities as as the biggest number you have. Like for example, in these pro markers, the numbers like went to 455. I know that the bigger the number will be, the less supplies will be. So I think that the reasonable thing will be just limiting yourself to like the first 100, which is something I'm willing to do during one of the month, or during like for example on the streams, or during times when I don't know what to draw, just roll a number and like just get white, which is one here, green, white color pencil, green marker, and I see when I also have the one, and yellow oil pastel. And using these 3 art supplies, we're creating one code challenge piece. This is something what I want to name it. One code challenge, one CCC. So yeah, this is something I came up with. I think it will be really fun, and to see how different brands and how different supplies tackle its coloring sheets, because some like to start from white as their first color, like usually it's white as their first color, and some like to start with yellow, some like to start with red and go the regular rainbow, and some just like to do it as random as they can. I'm looking at you, like Copics and pro markers. Yeah. So yeah, this will be the challenge. Once I like do the first with 0, 1, then I will just, I don't know, tag someone, or just use the hashtag, or just something else. And once you will do this, I will just kindly ask you to just tag me. All my social media handles are like here, so you can tag me, or just send me a message so I can see the outcome. And I think this would be something interesting, because this will give you not also the mix of the media you probably never used, like I never used like alcohol-based markers before, but I also never used like the mix of white, green and yellow before. And also because some of the supplies will be white, I allow using different colored paper. Like for example, when we get like 3 shades of white from 3 different art supplies, like white watercolor pencil, white regular colored pencil, and white oil pastel, I allow using like black paper, so while you can see the art you made, you know. So yeah, I think that as long, of course, as paper doesn't use its own color coding. But no, if they are such that company that they like gave 0, 1 to white, and you have also everything white, I allow to change the paper. Just whatever will go well with the supplies you have. Of course, I won't force you to use like printer paper when you have both oil pastels, markers and watercolors. But yeah, this is something that came to my mind when I was looking at these swatches, and I think that it would be really something really fun. And yeah, so I will just end this stream here. I will just quickly see if I can rate someone. I will just quickly see if anybody here is, if anybody on Twitch is online. Okay, I see that from my followers. I can see in my followers that the people I follow, that nobody is streaming right now. I will just go through the creative section. If I just know where to look at them. Creative. Where is the creative section? Show me. Oh, here. So, is anyone... I see most of the people, but I don't know any of them. So yeah, since I already see that there is like I already see that there is like nobody here. So I will just end the stream. Here's some. So thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Whether you watch in VOD, via VOD or on YouTube, when I actually post it on YouTube. And yeah, I will just go and end the stream and clean all this mess, because I can't leave it like this. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Go visit my social media, go create some art, and yeah, see you next stream.